But first, justices on the Supreme Court are set for a second day of arguments over health care reform.
Today, they will be hearing from both sides over whether the reform plan actually violates the Constitution, as critics charge. ABC's Karen Travers is at the Supreme Court with more.
The two-year battle over President Obama's health care law finally reached the Supreme Court. 90-minute session, the first of three, focused on a technical question, whether the nation's highest court was hearing the case too prematurely, based on an obscure 19th century tax law. Lawyers on both sides argued that the case should go forward.
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the court, this case presents issues of great moment, and the Anti-Injunction Act does not bar the court's consideration of those issues.
Based on their questioning, the justices seem to agree.
The Congress is not denominating it as a tax, it's denominating it as a penalty.
I don't think that's restraining the collection of a tax. It's restraining the payment of the tax.
Today's session gets to the heart of the challenge, the controversial insurance mandate. That says that any American who doesn't purchase insurance by 2014 will have to pay a penalty. Attorneys for the 26 states that filed suit argue that Congress doesn't have the authority to force an individual to buy something. If the mandate is constitutional, they say, there's no limit to what the federal government can force Americans to do.
I think they ask good questions at both sides. It's always hard to predict.
Lawyers for the Obama administration say that Congress was well within its authority. They argue that the mandate is the only way to finance something that everybody needs at some point in their life.
The court's decision is not expected until June at the earliest, right as the presidential campaign heats up. Karen Travers, ABC News at the Supreme Court.
Well, like I said, the president has done his best to not mention health care, barely even marking the two-year anniversary just a few days ago when he signed the law into passage here. But if this thing drops in June or July, whoever the two men, Obama and whoever emerges from the GOP, it will become a hot campaign issue again over the summer for sure.
You can only imagine how much gas prices will be at that point, too. So
you never know here. And then in an early report I saw last night, I think Jake Tapper pointed out there really are just 3 of the 9. 3 justices on the Supreme Court are kind of the swing votes, don't know which way they're kind of going to go. So those 3 fellas really do have the future of healthcare in this country in their hands. So watch closely for sure.
Hanging in the balance.